The forest of echoing paths. A soft breeze whispered through the tall trees as Elena stepped onto the narrow forest trail that wound beyond the edge of her small town. She had walked parts of this path many times before, but today felt different. Quiet in a deeper, more expectant way, as if the forest itself was waiting for her. The early morning sun filtered down through the leaves, scattering golden patterns on the ground like pieces of a broken map leading somewhere unknown. Elena had always been curious, but not reckless. She liked exploring, sketching plants and insects in her notebook, and listening to the forest birds whose melodies changed with the seasons. But today, she wasn't here to sketch. She had come because of the letter. The letter had appeared mysteriously on her windowsill the night before. It was written in neat handwriting on creamy paper and sealed with a tiny leaf-shaped mark. It read, "If you wish to understand what you are meant to become, follow the trail at dawn. Listen for the echoing paths." There was no name, no clue who wrote it, and yet Elena felt strangely drawn to its message. Something deep in her heart wanted to know more about the forest, about the hidden things people never talked about, and maybe about herself. As she continued walking, the trail grew quieter. No birdsong, no rustling leaves, just the tapping of her footsteps. Then, faintly at first, she heard it. A soft echo, like footsteps snatching her own but slightly delayed. She paused. The echo paused too. When she took another step, the echo followed. Elena swallowed, unsure whether to continue, but the echo didn't feel threatening, just curious, like a reflection watching her from another world. She stepped off the main trail and followed the sound deeper into the woods. Soon she entered a clearing she had never seen before. At the center stood a stone archway covered in vines, old and cracked, yet somehow warm with life. The echo became stronger here, vibrating gently in her chest. When she stepped closer, glowing lines appeared across the archway, forming symbols she couldn't read but felt connected to. A voice, soft, neither male nor female, spoke from behind her. "You heard the echo. That means the forest has chosen you." Elena turned to see a figure standing among the trees. It wasn't quite human, though shaped like one. Its body shimmered with shifting colors, like sunlight scattered across water. Its face had gentle, unreadable features, and its eyes glowed a soft shade of green. Who are you?" Elena asked, her voice wavering. "I am a guide of the echoing paths, and you are here because your heart listens differently than most." Elena didn't fully understand, but the words stirred something inside her. Something that felt like a memory she had forgotten. The guide gestured to the archway. "This forest is older than your town, older than the roads, even older than the stories told by your elders. Within it lie paths that echo with the lives and choices of those who walk them. You may walk one if you choose." "What happens if I walk through?" Elena asked quietly. "You will see what others cannot. You will meet what others overlook. And you will learn a truth about yourself." A truth about herself. Somehow that felt more frightening than magical, but the letter, the echo, the arch, all of it called to her. Slowly, with a deep breath, Elena stepped through the archway. The world on the other side shimmered, then steadied. It looked like the same forest, but brighter, more alive. Leaves glowed faintly around her, and the ground hummed under her feet. Even the air felt different, filled with a gentle rhythm. "Welcome," the guide said, now beside her. "This is the echoing realm, the reflection of your world, shaped by choices, stories, and memories." Elena walked forward cautiously, her eyes wide. She noticed small orbs of light floating between the trees, drifting like lanterns on an unseen breeze. "What are those?" she asked. "Memories of travelers who passed through long ago. Some are joyful, some sorrowful, but all are part of the forest's history." As they walked deeper, Elena saw visions inside the orbs, Children playing near the river, elders sharing stories at night, travelers resting near campfires. It felt like glimpsing hundreds of forgotten moments. But then the path split into three. Each path glowed in a different color: gold, silver, and blue. The echoes here felt louder, vibrating the air. "You must choose a path," the guide said softly. "Each one reflects a part of you." Elena looked at the golden path first. Warm light radiated from it, filled with laughter and vibrant shapes. She heard echoes of excitement, adventure, and bold decisions. The silver path shimmered cool and calm. Its echoes felt thoughtful, patient, full of quiet strength. The blue path was softer, almost dreamlike. It carried echoes of imagination, creativity, gentle courage, and the whispers of things unseen. Elena stared at the three paths, unsure. Which one is the right one? "There is no right one," the guide replied. "Only the one that resonates with who you are becoming." Elena closed her eyes and placed her hand over her heart. She thought about the sketches in her notebook, the dreams she kept secret, the way she felt drawn to things others didn't notice. She had always seen the world in colors and stories, not just facts and shapes. She stepped onto the blue path. Immediately, the forest around her deepened into a richer shade. Tiny lights flickered like fireflies, and the trees seemed to sway in greeting. She walked slowly, taking in every detail. Then she heard a sound, a soft cry, not frightening, more like a call for help. Elena ran toward the sound and found a small creature tangled in shimmering vines. It looked like a fox, but its fur was speckled with stars, and its eyes glowed faintly. It whimpered when it saw her. Without thinking, Elena kneeled and gently untangled the vines, speaking softly to calm it. When the creature was free, it nuzzled her hand gratefully. "You see," the guide said from behind her, "you are one who notices the small lights, the quiet voices. That is why the blue path called you." The fox-like creature trotted ahead, as if inviting her to follow. Elena and the guide walked behind it until the path opened into a wide clearing. At the center was a pool of clear water glowing with soft blue light, like the sky reflected at night. The fox sat beside it, waiting. "This," the guide said, "is where you learn the truth you seek." Elena stepped to the pool and stared into it. Instead of her reflection, she saw images, moments from her life. Times she felt unsure, times she felt small, times when she wanted to speak but stayed quiet. But she also saw the things she did naturally: helping classmates without being asked, noticing when someone felt left out, caring for animals, creating drawings that made others smile. One image showed her standing alone under a tree, sketching a bird. She remembered that day. How peaceful it felt. How right. The guide spoke gently. "Many people believe strength is loud or bold, but your strength is different. You listen. You feel deeply. You create. And the world needs that kind of strength too." Elena felt her throat tighten, not in sadness, but in recognition. She hadn't known she was searching for someone to tell her who she was enough. The fox nudged her leg and she smiled. Slowly the pool faded and the forest around her softened like a dream. The guide touched her shoulder lightly. "It is time to return to your world, but what you learned here will remain within you." The forest brightened, then vanished. Elena blinked and found herself back at the stone archway in the real forest. The morning sun had risen higher, and birdsong filled the air again. The guide and the fox were gone, but the memory of them remained warm in her chest. And from that day onward, whenever Elena walked through the forest, she felt the echoes, soft, gentle reminders that the quietest paths often lead to the strongest truths.